Go on, Craig!
Just before Christmas, I can't remember exactly when now, I released part 1 of the cargo bike that me, Sam and Willow built at Stayer Cycles for Bespoke in Manchester last year in April, so like this close to being a year ago, and then I never did part 2. So let's do part 2. For those of you that don't know, Bespoke is the world's biggest handmade bike show. They have stops in London, Dresden in Germany, and for the first time this year they're going to head to Japan. One of the big highlights of last year was Brother Cycles Apocalypse build-off, which essentially was inviting bike shops and participants of Bespoke to build a bike that was worthy for the apocalypse, something that would survive if everything went the way that the world is kind of going right now. And then on the Saturday there was essentially an obstacle course style race where everybody who built a bike raced them around the car park. I wasn't prepared for this in the slightest. We kind of finished our bike the day that we left to go drive all the way up to Manchester, and the steering wasn't quite working right, but we'll get to that. For now, let's go and build our apocalypse bike.
So you find me outside the Stayer workshop with my friend Rafa, who is the owner of Wheelie Good cargo company here in East London, and this is one of his donors that he's letting us rip apart. There's a couple of things we're after. The main thing is the motor and essentially drivetrain, which in this case is a roll-off. So the rear wheel I think we end up using as well. Now with the Bosch motors, the way the chain ring is kind of attached is with a locking ring, and there is 2 types I believe, or at least the Bosch one, so there's 2 types. Me and Rafa believe we have each tool. One of us has one, the other one has the other, but we never seem to have them in the right place at the right time. So we were desperate to do this immediately and right now, so we did end up just cracking the plastic. The motor itself was going to be used on another bike at some point, but the plastic cover, the stuff on it was probably always going to end up in the trash at some point anyway, so we kind of just smashed it up.
Yeah, sorry. Ta-da!
Here's a funny fact, you can see just behind me my cargo bike was there then. That rear tyre is going down. I've just remembered whilst making this video now, editing it, that it was flat by the end of the day, and I've just spotted that you can see that it's a little bit squishy. So that happened. Anyway, back to what me and Raph are up to. So now it's a case of getting the motor off the bike, which was not an easy task either. Everything was super tight, and took a lot of, well, look how red I'm going. A lot of Craig power to get it out. So after some time we got all those bolts out, and then realised, oh, we have to unplug all the electricals. Pretty straightforward, all the plugs were pretty tight in there, but I've managed to get them out there eventually. the main thing was remembering what came out of where and to remember which places they go back in. So Rafa was taking some photos and stuff so we knew which one went where, but then we realised it still wasn't quite as straightforward as that, and there was more bolts to undo. But after a lot of struggling and taking way more parts off than we expected, we finally got it loose. I have mad respect for people that work on cargo bikes for a living. These things are tricky. Now the black kind of bracket that's on there at the moment is for the Urban Arrow, so we needed to remove that so that we can put it on a bracket that we believed it was going to fit, because the cargo bike that we built for Bespoke was originally made for Shimano hubs, but we've had a sneaky feeling that it would kind of go enough for the show at least, but the bolts were just completely stuck completely. So I handed it over to Sam and he tried to work some magic, whilst me and Rafa continued pulling parts. I wasn't too fussed about the lights and stuff, but we managed to get them off reasonably easily. The thing that we really needed now was the battery mounts, and that was the next hurdle to get across. We didn't really know exactly how it came off. You can kind of see where Rafa's pulling there. It looks like there's a black channel, or there's a channel where that black strip is to protect it, I guess. So trying to work out where the bolts are was not straightforward. So after a lot of not sure what's going on, which bits are meant to do what, and swearing quite a bit, we finally found where the bolts were. Some of it needed to be forced, but in time we got it all off. Back in the workshop, Rafa was still trying to get the brackets off of the motor. After a lot of this, he finally got them all off, and Sam was making, out of some spare brass that was knocking around, essentially a mountain bracket so we could put it on the bike. I'm not sure why or where I went, but I did miss the actual finishing of this part, and we're going to skip to it being on the bike. At this point you're probably wondering, hang on a minute, what's the steering all about and how on earth is that gonna work? And you be right, that's a very good question. How does this work? So essentially it is rods attached to a cable, and when you turn it, it pushes the cable through that tubing that essentially would then attach to the fork and turn the fork. Now we're going to come back to the steering later on, because in theory this is amazing, but it didn't quite work, but we'll have to come back to that.
I think it's probably very clear at this stage that this bike isn't practical in the slightest, and that's not why we built it. We did it for fun, and you can see where I'm going with this right now. This sticker is probably the best way to describe it. This is the warning sticker that I've made that says this bike was built for fun, please ride irresponsibly, and that's exactly what this bike was. I didn't stick one of these on there actually. That was an oversight. So if you're interested in picking up one of those, you can head to saveoldbikes.com and grab one of those, including some of the new stickers, like Save Old Bikes little grave logo, which is kind of cool, and then this one which I like quite a bit, which is Steel is Real little blade. Very cool stuff. Anyway, let's continue building a bike that was purely made for fun.
First things first was putting the chain ring and the pedals and all that sort of stuff back on, right just before I got attacked by Edie. But yes, putting the chain ring on. Now, long term, we didn't know exactly how we were going to build this bike or what we were going to do and kind of where it was going to go. So I didn't want to do anything permanent, so I didn't want to put the battery brackets on the bike. So I wondered if on these bolts I could somehow fashion a rack of some sort that I could put the battery on there. And when I say a rack, I mean like these eyelets, one on one side, one on the other side. It's essentially a rack. To my surprise, it fit actually quite well. It didn't seem like it was going to go anywhere really, so I just had to tie it on. And what's the best way to tie stuff to a cargo bike? No, incorrect. Inner tubes is the right way. I mean, jokes aside, that looks pretty sick, and it stayed on perfectly. You could even pull it out and charge it, slide it back in. Works very well. Now, fitting all the cables and tying them to the frame, we've basically zip tied everything to this bike, took a long time, and really, it was really quite fiddly. So after a very long time of cable management and making sure the sensors worked and messing around with it for a hideous amount of time, I moved on to probably my favourite part of the bike, which was the cockpit. Ever felt like maybe one set of handlebars was not enough and that you needed 2 stems and 2 handlebars? Yeah, me too. What do you mean that's not how you put a star nut in? Looks pretty good to me. Somewhere at some point I swapped the spacer. The handlebars I'm fitting here are the tweaker bars. The tweaker bars are a bar that me and Sam were messing about with some time ago now. It's a prototype for a handlebar that we're going to make, probably eventually. I usually have a good idea of why I did things and kind of how I want to talk to them about you or talk about them to you. I don't know, it looks cool, doesn't it? There's no reason for this. Let's remember this is an apocalypse bike. I suppose I was going a little bit Mad Max, and I think it's kind of cool. Then I had a pretty good thought, and I feel like this is the best part, is it's a perfect handlebar for controls. So all the electric bits for power and stuff were here. I did want to get a light on there just because reasons, but I kind of just zip tied it to the stem, which works really well. It's a really good position for it, really. Now, I can't for the life of me remember why I was having such an issue. I can't remember if it's the fact that I couldn't find a small enough rotor or I couldn't find the right adapter for the brake, but I could not for the life of me get the brake caliper on the disc. So I made this. I was pretty pleased with myself. Pretty pleased. So I didn't film the last couple of bits, but after messing with brakes for a long time, I managed to get them working-ish, and as you can see I put them on the lower bar because the reasons. And that's kind of all I had time for at this point because we were heading to Bespoke the next day. So this is, at this point at least, what it looked like. Okay, cool. So if this was the day before we left for Bespoke, how on earth did you finish the bike before you went? Well, it's simple. We just went for it. So here's Willow finishing the seat tube so we can get an actual seat post in it. Then we had Sam trying to get the steering working. The steering was this cool cable system that we had all set up, and in theory it was going to work perfectly fine, but we needed maybe 2-3 hours to kind of finish it and get it working properly. As you can see, we're just making it work at the moment. While Sam was doing this, me and Willow was packing the van, and then we had to drive to Manchester. But before we did that, we did try it a bit.
Yeah.
It's the end of the world, Craig. What do you want?
No, you're right. You're right. I should. Yeah. Don't get nervous riding bikes.
Just don't sit on the saddle.
I'm at the. Whoa! That tire. Yeah.
Perfect height.
I can't balance the other direction, and the pedal's also hitting the ground. Yeah. I'm getting used to it, but oh fuck. But like my foot hit the ground then. It is really squishy.
So essentially the pedals are hitting the ground, and because I can't steer, or more importantly I can't do like micro adjustments, balance feels mental. So first things first, we pumped up the tires. Sam then did a little bit of adjustments on the rod, and I took it for another spin.
Because I haven't changed it yet.
Sam was asking then why was I in such a low gear. The roll-off isn't linked up to a shifter, so you have to get off the bike and do it with your finger to change gear and then get back on again.
Yeah, well, now it's scarier. At the time it seemed okay.
So does it work? Can you put it in the van now?
We could put it in the van. Describing it as working, I'm not going to do right now. I think I'll worry about that in the future.
Obviously I wasn't going to let him get away with not having to go on this thing.
I'll tell you, you'll see exactly what's right. Whoa!
Can we just get rid of the assist? It's not easy.
So after a reasonably unsuccessful test ride, we popped it in the van along with all our other bikes we needed for the show, and we hit the road. The drive up there was pretty straightforward, luckily, after the morning we just had, but once we got there, me and Willow decided to fill the bike up with all the stuff to make it look a bit more apocalyptic-ish for the actual event itself. And then we go to the Saturday, which was the race itself. So here's a little montage. I don't have lots of clips of the, if you can call it a race. Well, I mean, I certainly wasn't partaking in the race. I was just being a liability, really. Now, I am not kidding when I say that that couple of hours of bespoke was possibly one of the most fun parts of it. I didn't do too well. The bike was only steering right, and even then it wasn't really steering that well, that right. Left was kind of not really happening, and the track pretty much went mostly left, and there was a couple of rights at the end. So it was challenging, put it that way. But it was crazy fun. I had so much fun, and it was really good seeing everybody else's bikes, and it was just outright fun. There's not many other ways to describe this right now. I'm just starting to ramble. I am planning to be at Bespoke again this year. I will be taking down a bike that hasn't even been made yet. It'll be my cargo bike that I am making with the Stayer CarryON. There'll be loads more about that if you don't know already, but I'll link down below the build video for our rock harper, or no, the hard rock it was that we built, which I'm sure I've got on the screen right now. Tickets are available for Bespoke in London, so if you do want to pick some up and come and say hi and see some probably the best bikes you'll see in your life, go down in the link below and buy a ticket. Now, this is the part of the video where I usually say, subscribe to the channel, and if you haven't done already, and if you can't wait till next video, watch this one, all that sort of stuff. I may do that in a second. But as a lot of you know, I also work for Stayer Cycles, and I have started recording some fly-in-the-wall type videos of goings-on in the workshop. And the first one of those videos has just gone up at the same time as this video over on the Stayer account. I'll link it down below, but I would really appreciate it if you guys go and watch it. It's the sort of video I would put on this account anyway, so I'm sure you'll enjoy it. But go over, have a look. It will probably be additional bonus content from me, kind of, in a way, going forward. So go and subscribe to Stayer's account, and that's about that. So if you're new to the channel from this video, hello, welcome. We make lots of bike-related content, kind of like this one, and the best way to keep up with that is hitting the subscribe button. It's absolutely free and it helps me out a bunch, and if you can't wait until the next one, that one there is a particularly good one.